In spirit of just doing monothematic item rarities challenges, this time I am playing with only rare items. Yellows can and usually are the most powerful options for certain item slots, although finding the best of the best can take literally years. I will be playing Amazon for this one and trying to complete it on hardcore. Let the challenge begins. Rules. I am only using rare, yellow items for me and my mercenaries. I will use charms and sockets. Run ends with killing Bale on Hell. This is a hardcore run, no deaths allowed. I stated in the beginning that rare items can be most powerful options in certain situations. They can have multiple randomized affixes that can result in items so amazing that almost nothing unique or crafted can compete. Also, I will finally be able to use all those quest rewards, as in the past challenges they were just Charcy food. In the entire history of Diablo 2, people really shared amazing rare finds that took endless grinding and identifying items that might be just great. Let's see if I can get anything great here, and doing it while not dying a single time. Getting rid of my starting equipment has just become a habit at this point. I went to Bloodmore and quickly hit level 2. Since I don't have any weapon, I got Critical Strike, which gives me a passive chance to do more damage. So on to my first quest, Den of Evil. Although I am doing minuscule damage, this went very smooth and I was soon rewarded with a skill point. Now to clear the burial grounds to get my own rogue sister. I gave Blood Raven a knuckle sandwich and she decided to be not nice and give me my first rare, a wolf head which is druid specific. Rakanishu was major threat for now. He was dealing a lot of damage and so I mostly left him to Blaze to deal with. He dropped a rare large axe which I cannot use for now. First close call came in underground passage with some elite pack that was cold enchanted. Went back to the camp and picked dodge skill for level 6. Vile hunters chased me into Darkwood, so I had to utilize some wall to beat them one by one. I got to level 7 and was able to put enough points into strength to equip the axe. And now this is why you are watching these challenges. Amazon with two-handed axe. Priceless. With that I dealt with 3-head Woodfist and in return he dropped me a rare dagger, which was pretty bad. So we opened a pretty portal between the stones and rescued a Blade Runner, Deckard. A very nice small charm dropped in a Black Marsh, plus 7 to life. In Forgotten Tower level 5, cursed ghosts attacked me upon entering, making my life miserable. Next it was Countess time, and after that quick stroll into Monastery. Once I got there I decided to do some gambling, as in the beginning items can be very cheap, and you can actually get some rares. And well, I got some leather gloves and rare sash, which is actually quite nice. For some reason this game really liked cursed monsters in this run, as Black Poison was in fact just that. In Barracks, Smith was trying to pull us into the Matrix, but we found a way to split him in half and grab the Malice. Finally, I will also be able to use the Imbue to give me some rare down the line. While breaking out of jail I hit level 12 and got another passive, which is Avoid. I also found some white heavy boots and decided to use the Imbue, even though I should wait for later. Then again, I got my first rare boots, which were not great by any means, but better than nothing. Bone Ash is actually quite scary on hardcore, and even more if you are trying to melee him. In Catacombs I managed to find a unique Bardiche, the Moke's Hue. Shame I cannot use it. Because I already know there will be a lot of running, we need to clear the first room to give us a proper chance of not dying. Before fight itself, let's stock up on antidotes and health potions. Whole fight was rather easy. I had a lot of health by this point and just had to be careful not to drop too low. In the end it took one trip to town and Andariel rewarded me with a rare Pilum that I will be able to use once I get the dexterity for it. Of course, let's hire Kasim to be my shield and heal me with his prayer aura. I got really lucky and found a way to sewers level 3 in a couple of seconds and was defeating Radament in no time. In Halls of the Dead I encountered a room full of monsters that were benefiting from the Might aura, and that was quite not pleasant, but we made a sweep and quickly got a Horadric cube. Finally, I got to level 16 and got enough dexterity to wear my pilum and invest in some actual skills, mainly lightning bolt and power strike for some additional damage. For now, power strike will be my main source of damage, as it deals additional lightning damage in melee, and lightning bolt can be used as a ranged option. A rare Volge dropped in Maggot Lair, which happened to roll very nicely and will be perfect for Kasim. With his new weapon he dropped a Cold Worm before I was really able to grab the staff. Just before finding Fang Skin, which by the way is very confusing name as he doesn't have fangs on his skin, I hit level 18 and with that, Charge Strike, which is power strike on steroids, as it deals additional lightning damage and sends charge bolts behind the target to wreak even more havoc. In addition to grabbing the amulet, I got another passive, Penetrate, and this one simply gives more attack rating. So far the most threatening monsters are the one that can freeze me, that is not foreshadowing at all. While exploring Arcane Sanctuary I found first rare shield, and because I love this place so much, I checked every single path before smacking down the summoner. He actually dropped 2 rares, belt and shield, which I will gladly take. Well, that is interesting. Upon entering Talrasha's tomb, I immediately saw the light to put the stuff into, and that never happened to me. I also got my first helmet while looking for a way to a chamber. The Uriel fight started poorly. I forgot to switch my weapon and pop the fouling potions, so round 2. After that it was smooth sailing. Charge bolts from my ability were hitting Duriel and he was really unable to put any dent into our health. Upon his death he dropped a rare helmet and unique Volged, which is still gold. In the jungle I quickly dispatched some champions and got myself Jade figurine for that 20 life. That would be massive for this challenge. Cesark the Burning got shocking awakening from my pilum straight into his eyes. I got the Gitbin and got very excited about it, since for the first time I would actually be able to use the reward from the quest since starting these challenges. Ormus gave me a ring which was honestly awful. I really wanted to drop it, not sell it, drop, out of pure spite. But it was my first rare ring, so I gave it a pass. Witch Doctor was no match for our spears, so we got the brain and moved on. I am normally not killing Stormtree, but this time something was telling me to do so. And what do you know? He dropped Manal's heal ring and rare bow. Not bad at all. Battlemate Sarina dropped me another pilum, which has some nice stats on it, but my main prize is Lamb Essence Black Book for even more vitality. Quick peek into sewers for the heart, and now to Travincal. Council got beaten to a pulp, so my descent into Durance continues. Game knows when you are playing hardcore, so it is pushing Stygian dolls whenever possible. Fortunately, they are not that dangerous in normal. Just before Mephisto I hit level 24, and with that, another passive, Evade. Lord of Hatred died faster than anticipated, and he wasn't really able to do any damage. He dropped a couple of rares, of which the bow seems to be the best. You know the game wants you to fail or to really challenge you by giving you again the worst monster spawns, Oblivion Knights and Burning Souls in Plains of Despair. Mwah! Chef's kiss. Oh yeah, and lightning enchanted souls that already shoots freaking lightning. How? I mean, what the hell? Usual was, as per usual, very tanky, and my main damage dealer is quite mana hungry, but damage was done and skill point acquired. It took me a moment to find the path to River of Flame, but at least I had to explore all of it before I found the Hellforge and claimed the Ort Room. After that I got slight upgrade to my gloves and tried to do the same with boots, but sadly to no avail. Together with Kasim we pushed through and soon found ourselves in front of Chaos Sanctuary. Thanks to my enormous damage, clearing it was not an issue, although Venom Lords are quite a nuisance, because of lack of fire resistance on my part. Getting to Diablo of course means dealing with his favorites, so first to die was Grand Vizier of Chaos. Lord Disease might be extra strong, but now he is also extra dead. Last one was Infector of Souls, and because I broke all the seals beforehand, I simply ran him down and he was free to fight Diablo. I was kind of afraid of this fight, as I know that Lightning Breath can kill me really quickly. He was really stubborn and refused to move from his spawning point. Fortunately, I had enough health to withstand his attacks, and enough power to kill him rather quickly, and he is generous in his drops, getting me some upgrades for body armors. Charge Strike is very mana consuming, and I lack mana leech, so I rushed Shank to kill everything around, and same fate was meant for Eldritch. In Frigid Highlands I am of course helping those helpless barbarians, because I care for them so much. I feel I am very lucky in these runs in terms of uniques, and I am not that glad for it. Frozenstein received my lightning rod to the face, and with the potion from Mala I rescued Anya, again for purely altruistic reasons. She gives me something that I can use, but I will not, as I rather have javelin and shield, so I gave it back with a proper tax. I grabbed the portal in Frozen Tundra and decided to go back and deal with that traitor Nilatak. I like this temple, but it is clear it is past due on some renovations. I think Nilatak was just due on rent or was in some debt, so he sided with demons to do something with these halls. Nevertheless, he's dead now. Ancients were a joke. Kasim held Korlik and Talik while I positioned Madak in a way that charge bolts were hitting the former and killed them first and just finished Madak soon after. In Worldstone Keep I reached level 30 and with that a whole slew of skills. Pierce for passive pierce chance, Valkyrie for powerful summon, and Lightning Fury for one of the best clearing tools in the whole game. Shortly after that we were standing in front of Bale, ready to face his minions, and more or less grind them to dust right before his eyes. Bale was just a bit annoying due to his constant freeze and mana burn, but 2 trips to town and some helpers to distract him and he was lying dead. He actually dropped an insane circlet with great resistances, my gear and my setup for the end of normal. So now you might be wondering, why at the start of the next act I am showing you the last location of it. When I arrived in Catacombs I realized that I actually didn't record a single thing, so had to capture a couple of clips for what happened in the past couple of minutes since starting this difficulty. So let me summarize. I gambled some very curious set of javelin that I am still using right now and cleared the Den of Evil. Bishibosh dropped quite nice pair of boots, although I am losing faster run walk, I gained so much more useful stats. I cannot rescue Kane for the second time, so just imagine I am doing it right now and he is safe and sound in town. For my effort Akara rewarded me with actually good ring, and more I look at it, it is actually amazing. 10% faster cast rate, some magic find, fire resistance and mana after each kill. I also skipped the Countess and ran straight to Smith to give Charcy back her mallet. And we are back in Catacombs after a quick summary, and I am right on track to kill Andariel. Lightning Fury, even in its current state, is just amazingly fun skill to use. Everything blows up under thunder and lightning. And so we cleared the arena again and fought Andariel, but halfway through I ran out of potions, but trip to town can fix that. She actually dropped an insane pair of boots with 30% faster run walk, double resistances, half freeze duration and even some magic find. Beginning of Act 2 I switched Mercenary to Emilio for that sweet might aura. I think I will want a Holy Freeze down the line for more crowd control, but this will be good for now. My love for sewers know no bounds, as I had to explore level 3 in its entirety before facing Radament. A random elite in Rocky Waste dropped me an ethereal bone shield. That defense though.
Nice.
And his minion dropped me a most insane grand charm I have seen on this level. I have never seen this place in this difficulty. Beetles and lightning javazon is just pure chaos on the screen, but Beetle Burst dropped me my first rare amulet, and pretty insane at that. If I would be a paladin it would be even better, but it is hard to complain with all that life and all resistances. And just like that I am fully equipped for the first time. Maggot Lair this time around is kind of a joke. I cannot wait for hell when nothing will be dying due to lightning immunities. I am getting the weirdest layouts in this run. I have never seen a room shaped like this. I grabbed the staff and Cold Worm dropped a rare stag bow that is super allergic to undead. Fangs King got shocked when I opened shutters and shed some light into the basement. For the first time in a while, Arcane Sanctuary doesn't feel like a chore. With level 40 I finally got to where the circlet ball dropped me, and my resistances looks pretty good. While in town I got an upgrade to my gloves and belt through gambling, of course. Duriel took 2 trips to town to restock potions and revive. Also resummoning Valkyrie helped to keep the focus off me, while dishing out the damage. Thankfully, due to high cold resistance, Duriel wasn't really able to hit me that hard, although slow was really annoying. Right out of town I got Jade figurine and again exchanged it for some maximum life boost. I heard that you have a spider problem. I will clear it, sir, and will take the skiller and the eye as the prize. Let's try that again, Ormus. I got you a dagger and you got me an even worse ring than before. Man, why are you like this? With disappointment in my heart I went to Flayer's dungeon to grab the brain and move on to the next objective. A random Flayer dropped me a unique gothic shield, which is ward, and that would be amazing to use just for that 50 to all resistances alone. Now to blow up the screen in Ruined Temple and turn the book into some additional life points. This conversion rate is crazy, man. I got really lucky in the sewers, just one left turn and I already got the heart. Emilio couldn't take the heat against the council, but together with my Valkyrie sister we mowed the floor with them and enters Durance of Hate. Game hates me, so of course I am getting dolls down there, so every fight got to be a near-death experience. Mephisto took a while because of his lightning resistance, so I had to keep his attention on me to not kill Emilio, thus we will be able to do more physical damage. I clearly lack mana leech and larger mana pool, and because of that my damage is also lacking. I need to do some more leveling and find better weapon. Burning Souls, Doomcasters and Venomlord. That's right, I love dying, game. Usual was surrounded by all of them, so first I had to drop every single mob and then rip him to pieces. This time I can give Abyss Knight taste of their own medicine and hit them from outside the screen. Hephasto took forever to kill. I couldn't put a dent into him, and he was hitting harder than anyone. In return, the quest gave me a Lamb rune. I broke into Sanctuary and my first victim was Grand Vizier of Chaos, that fell under Hail of Thunder. I ran out of javelins mid Lord Decease fight and Valkyrie had to seal the deal for me. And Infector died kind of unceremoniously, leaving me to fight Diablo. Apparently he had something hot to eat, as he was spamming lightning breath nearly constantly. Fortunately I didn't let my mercenary die, and with 3 trips to town I wore Diablo down. As per usual I dealt with Shank, killing everybody in the vicinity, and then Eldritch just to be thorough. While going through Frigid Highlands rescuing barbarians, an ethereal rare Warfork dropped, which is quite nice weapon for our merc. You won't tempt me with your shrill cries, succubi, you will die screaming. Rescued Anya from the hairy grip of Rosenstein and my resistances further were reinforced. They are even better right now. I got my portal in Frozen Tundra and back to Anya for my reward, which was pretty nice bow that I cannot use. There is something oddly satisfying about killing packs of death maulers. Found pretty grim nails in temple, which is good as I can use to throw them at those demons. Jesus, those rare names will kill me someday. I wasn't gonna let Nilatak do anything, so I killed him off screen. It took few resets of the Ancients to have decent modifiers, but still Talik spawned with lightning enchant. But that is exactly why I leveled Valkyrie up. Korlik died first, and soon after that, Madak. Talik took some time and used almost all of my potions. Worldstone Keep is a home to worst type of monsters in the game, and it wants to kill me so bad. I got Burning Souls on level 2 and Oblivion Knights on level 3, and then again Souls in Thrones of Destruction. The game knows, it knows, man. Thankfully my Spearman can deal with both of them. Pale Waves got utterly and completely destroyed by our trio, but mainly by me. Thunder Fury flying through the room, electrifying the air and everything on its path. Boss himself decided to be a bitch and clone himself in the beginning of the fight, so once my potions ran out, I ported to Tau and waited for him to despawn. Coming back to a fight, he lasted 10 seconds without another clone. Like, this guy doesn't want to fight fair versus 3 of us. I don't get it. Knowing he cannot win, he finally gave in and was killed seconds after. My gear, my merc gear, stats and build by the end of Nightmare. Now before I step into Hell, I need to get some upgrades to my gear if I am hoping to live through hardcore Hell. So now I started farming terror zones as they are the best source of money, experience and gear. I found very good pair of maiden javelins. Shame is that they are magic. Oh, what a shame. During one run I found Mavina's belt and I cannot use it. I feel kinda robbed. I am finding some good items, just not for me. I hit level 72 and so far the best find is bow and crossbow skiller, which I am not using. I even found a laying of hands, and no good rares. First half decent find of the farming, a shield with 12 to all resistances and some damage reduction. Another find was a body armor, which by itself wasn't good, but it has 2 open sockets. Also, I found a slight upgrade to my shield couple of runs later. And here is couple of another drops. Got a bit sick of farming as I wasn't getting what I wanted, so I went to Hell at level 79, straight to Den of Evil to check if I can do it. Even though I lack plus skills items, I am doing pretty well and my 2 sidekicks actually do a lot of damage. I visited Burial Grounds to give my last rites to Bloodraven. Next I emerged in Darkwood, not a euphemism. Then I beat the tree head behind some trees, again not a euphemism. Freed Deckard from the cage, so Akara gave me another nice ring. I snuck behind Smith to rob him of Malus and then backstab him like a champ. I am trying to be extra careful not to die, but sometimes you get packed like this. Lightning immune and cursed, and that is exactly why I invested in Valkyrie. Finally I made my way into Inner Cloister and Cathedral. A list of affixes on Bonash was just staggering, like titles on some medieval lord. Catacombs portal spawned just around the corner to level 3. Perfect for farming. Although Andariel wrecked Emilion's spot and it took her 3 or 4 hits to kill Valkyrie, I still managed to dish out enough damage to kill her, while resummoning Valk to grab her attention. Straight to sewers. This time Radamant minions were a bit annoying as horrors are lightning immune, so I took couple of laps around the man and killed him. Again. Thanks to my front line I was able to deal with Maggot Lair, despite Scarabs being major pain in the ass, although most of encounters looked like this. Eventually we make our way to Coldworm Chamber, blasted him out of existence and grabbed the staff. Level 2 of Claw Viper Temple decided to not only feature Fangskin, but also another elite snake. As much as I hate Arcane Sanctuary, Lightning Javazon seems to love it. Finding Duriel took a couple of minutes, but by the end I was able to skip some of the monsters and just go straight in. The fight itself was a bit uneventful, although slow was not helping. Valkyrie was taking every hit like a tank she is. Because I am afraid of dying to burning souls, I had to fix my lightning resistance, so I used both of the Larzuk socket quests to add sockets to my shield and helmet, and now it is looking sweet. Half of the monsters in the first half of this act is lightning immune, and of course I got burning souls in the Great Marsh, while Jade figurine dropped in the distance. Thankfully spiders can be electrocuted to death, so I can snatch the eye from the chest and get totally blocked in Flare's jungle and had to quit out. I am giving Ormus one last chance to give me something nice. And well, what do you know? This is not terrible. Windshank the Sharp got shanked sharp into the face. One of the Stygian dolls dropped me kind of a great ring in the sewers. Finally, I pushed through this infested maze and emerged victorious with all the Kalim's parts in my hands. Council was truly, but oh my god, truly horrible. All of them are lightning immune. None of the elites were keen to pick their noses out of the temple, and mostly Valkyrie just kept jabbing one by one. Galeb was nice enough to separate from the pack and eventually drop a flail. And what greets me in the Durance? You guessed it, dolls. I tricked another set of council members and left them with my girl. Once they were by the entrance, I went to the side to just deal with Mayfair. Once we got to Mephisto, it was smooth sailing. He just took a lot of damage from the attacks and he dropped in seconds. And he even dropped Razor Tail, which sadly I cannot use. This is my first hardcore attempt and with some constraints, so I wasn't really expecting to get to Act 4 on the first try. Usual was nice enough that he showed up right outside the gate in Plains of Despair. Guess he was just really desperate to die. After that I have no intentions of fighting anything, unless I absolutely need to, so straight stroll through hell for Portal in. First time I made my way through the Chaos Sanctuary and got trapped without mana to deal with it. Second time was much smoother experience, and we were in Diablo's home in no time. Valkyrie and Emilio were dealing with storm chasers, and by that I mean Valk was taking all the heat while I cheered her from the sidelines. One of the monsters dropped War Javelin, and it was good, giving me +1 to Amazon skills. I dreaded Lord Disease, but unfortunately for him, lightning seems to be his weakness. After killing Infector of Souls, well, nothing happened, and then I realized that I actually didn't break the second seal near the Grand Vizier. Much like his brother Mephisto, Diablo wasn't much of a problem. He wasn't really able to do much damage to me as my resistances were maxed. Fight itself just took a couple of seconds of stabbing from both sides. I am very much relieved that I managed to get through Act 4, so now just to get the Ancients and Bale. Of course I couldn't skip Overseer Shank and Eldritch. Doomhack and Icehead, the most unlikely superhero pair, decided to be super annoying in the Crystalline Passage and held my entire expedition to the top. Fortunately I managed to drop them dead and run through the Glacial Trail and into Frozen Tundra, getting the portal in the end. I am sorry Anya, but this time I do not need resistances so badly. Nope. I got first nice attempt at the Ancients, but my dog spawned with Stone Skin and Lightning immune, thus making him basically immortal. Next try was doable, although Korlik was dangerous, but also first to fall. Next was Tolik, and my dog took some time because I was basically had to stand still until my duo tanks sent him 6 feet under. Worldstone Keep decided to be a total B and sent everything that is worst in the world of Sanctuary against me. So I mostly reverted to running past Deadliest Demons until I got to Throne of Destruction. And there I got pretty good roster, except Oblivion Knight. Bale minions were just minor inconvenience, they were utterly destroyed by Lightning Fury. Lord of Destruction himself was a bit more problematic, due to my lack of funds and him wanting to kill my mercenary all the time. Him completely not respecting fair 3-on-1 fight kept summoning his clone, so in response I waited in town for it to despawn, thus prolonging the inevitable. And finally, after 15 minutes of jabbing, stabbing, back into town, selling my belongings, I managed to put Bale down for the final time. He even dropped a rare spiderweb sash, and man, that should have been a unique. Here are my items and build for the last time. This challenge was great, and first hardcore run that I have done. Although I didn't get super overpowered rare items, I still managed to max out my resistances and not die to one-shots or anything else for that matter. I also was playing very carefully, and addition of Valkyrie through the game cannot be overstated, as she was holding the front line so gracefully and vigilantly that I know that I would not be able to do it without her. Through the entire challenge I was trying to also gamble a couple of items, mainly amulets and circlets, to get some of that to plus skills. But that never happens, or items were not targeted towards Amazon. Another thing are the charms that I found and kept along the way. I really had a plethora of small charms that were giving me a significant portion of my life total and kept my resistances even higher. In the end, it was a mix of what I already knew and what I had available to me, and constant fear that run might end at every turn. So even I was dishing a lot of damage most of the time, I really needed to focus on my defenses and persevere. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for more hardcore and softcore runs and challenges. I apologize for my voice in this video, as I am a bit sick while recording this. Like and subscribe if you like it, and check out my other videos. Challenger departs.